có ngồi xem này rồi.
Let's see a couple of tricks about color matching. Now we have a couple of pictures. This one, which is merry green, and then this one, which is more kind of reddish. And I put one on top of the other. Now I don't care about how they will blend in terms of mask, okay? So I can just soft blend. Of course, we can do a better job, but I do. You can go to get the fill, and we pick medium gray here from the drop menu, and we press OK. If you don't want to go with Shift F5, you can go here, edit and fill. Okay.
Biết rồi. 3.2 3.7.2 3.2 Ok. Điền cái này vào đã.
So this layer now goes into luminosity, and in the moment I put luminosity, as you can see, the luminosity, so the values, the black
Camera filter. Ui, vãi chưởng. Ghê quá vậy. Đó. Shift F5. F5 5% gray và để luminosity.
black and white values are taken from the same level, which is medium gray, as you can see, and colors, so hues and saturation, so the strength of a color comes from what it's behind it. Okay, so you can clearly see we have some green here and then some orange on the top. What to do now? We can just go and create a new adjustment here, put it on the top and increase saturation, and we can do that because now we can clearly see a lot better what's happening. Okay, so the goal here is to bring this yellow green color to something like orangey reddish, and to do so we need to attach hue saturation adjustment on top of this green layer, so a color to something like orangey reddish, and to do so we need to attach hue saturation adjustment on top of this green layer. So again, I create a new hue saturation and I press Alt and click in the middle to attach it, and then we can just try to select yellows or greens. Okay, now
Ghi lại. Matching cái gì nhỉ? Color matching à? Một color matching matching. Bước 1 là fill 50% gray để luminosity kèm thêm một huê kéo saturation lên.
When you see something green, most of the time is yellow, okay? Here, almost nowhere green is the other thing the font. Now that the color is matched, so the type of color is matched, we can hide the illustration on top, the medium gray layer. We don't need them anymore.
Kéo huê về saturation lên để nhìn thấy độ khác màu. Hai đó là quay về layer nguyên liệu, đặt huê kéo huê đúng màu bao cho tới khi màu giống nhau. Mình nghĩ mình phải chụp lại đi. Đây. Đây là bước 1. Đây là bước 2. Khoan đã. Bước 1 đã. % gray.
To some. And see type better, but again we can now work on the top, you know, make it darker, to do the blendings, I would say, mode the such as, and you can start to pick a little bit this values, you know, and I mean now you don't have to look at this type is done now values, and now you watch here, make everything a little bit.
Ok. Quay về gì sau khi là màu giống nhau, kèm kéo saturation, kèm theo kéo saturation. Sau kèm theo kéo saturation cho khớp cuối cùng chỉnh value bằng curve hoặc level để luminosity
bit darker. So here we go. Here we go. We can hide these 3 layers and we can see, you know, before and after. So before, yeah, a little bit dark, up, down, curves, that way. Color is more. I can tell that this is.
Ok, chưa? Luminosity. Khi hai này matching nhau. Okay.
More saturated and the job is done. We from the color to fill, we select the color from here and we select the red from the layer and we put this red layer in luminosity from the top to increase saturation. You basically have an idea of the saturation amount, and this works because every color now is red and all you can see is the amount of red, the strength of the red color.
Ok, một cái check nữa. Đây là một cái check nữa thôi. Đó là để đây, phải nốt lại. Ok, từ từ.
This layer, red layer, and we put this red layer in luminosity.
Okay.
And then we make a new copy of this and we put this layer in hue. And in this way we can also have a saturation on the top to increase saturation.
Okay. Cái này là huge. Đây là luminosity. Hoe. Có cái nào viết chữ không ta? Hoe. Lu. Mi. Cái này là cái này. Bốn. Check lại bằng việc tạo một layer fill, right? Để luminosity một layer fill, right? Để Huê kèm một saturation kéo mạnh để thấy được hàm lượng, right? So chênh lệch, ok. Được, right? Chênh lệch. Okay.
You basically have an idea of the saturation, the strength. See, if I'm trying to match this saturation with this saturation, 10 if something is wrong. You see, this is too much done with this.
Ok, đã hiểu video này. Matching a different way to cut out a photo.
Few techniques, but before doing that, let's talk a little bit. They have the same type of content. You see the same photo, camera, and type of file. You can modify it. It's a smart object, but with the camera raw plugin. So you the smart object enter. You can add a mask, for example, something like this. Actually, just click then close. The camera raw. If you have a raw, you can just open and open it, and from here you can actually, if you don't want to save it, you can actually right click on the layer, create a smart object from here, wait for it to become a smart object, and then once it's a smart object you can drag and drop it into
Rớt bố tay nghe.
the old file in the Photoshop file, and then that's it. You have content, which is a smart object, but if you double click, you see it opens up like this. Okay, so it's one step more if you have background, the trees, the sky. And I will now hide the down with this layer. I mean, this works fine, but there's a con. The con is that if you then apply an adjustment on this layer, the effect that you see now may change. Okay, so these blend if it's really working only if you are not going to modify of this layer. Okay, it's really working only if you are not going to modify, for example, the brightness of this layer. Okay, one other thing that may not work properly is the fringe definition. I would say sometimes if you zoom in, you will see that it's probably very pixelated and is not kind of smooth. I mean, in this situation it works well because the sky is very bright. Okay, but sometimes you're not that lucky, I would say. Test, and for inside the smart object, this will cut out the 16-bit file inside if you do the work, and in, I don't know, maybe. So let's talk about the first type of cutting out tool. The first type is the top is going to try value. The next one, because 10%, and that's selecting also a problem we have. The amount of others, and maybe 10 is right.
Ông ấy đang nói về việc cắt out.
Okay, maybe more is a great a little bit better because you make a mask.
Color range.
You can go with select color range. And the color range is a little bit better because you can have here a visual result of what you are basically trying to select. Here, all problem, add some samples, and we can add, for example, here you see on the top right, we can add this value 10 or not, because anyway, of course, we need to see what happening is neat. Now, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. We can see here that we have some problems there. Okay. Basically, every image is different. Channel interested on 8. About a little bit to get okay. Make try again. You can also and then the mask, and then the original file will update on as a backup, and then you right click on this one and you rasterize. And you don't want to merge these two parts. The current board. Go back on the layer, so we can Control A to select everything, Control C to copy the channel. You see I have the selection only on the blue channel. You need to go back on the layers, and then you add a new layer and you press Control V to paste the single channel. And now what we need to do is we can just add a curve, care about area a little bit to get some difference, such a strong and contrasted in the dark areas and the white areas. Exactly what we were looking for. Okay, so once you feel like only so, then we go back, press Ctrl. Okay, using informations from the image, two layers. Because now you see this is what we see when we add the mask, and of course we need to invert this. So change technique, and then the original file will update. Your work is done. Backup, and then you layer tab, matting the fringe. Basically, this option here will delete the last pixel around an area, and probably it happened to you. Sometimes you can see a white fringe, a white border, or a black border around your cut out photos. Well, if you want to delete that automatically, of course you don't have to, you cannot do it on a smart object. It should be a rasterized layer, and it doesn't work if you have a mask. So if you have a mask, you need to basically apply the layer mask, and so the layer mask disappear. Okay, so once you have a layer like this, you can go here, layer, matting, the fringe. 1 pixel is enough. You press OK, and as you can see, it gets a lot better. Okay, and this basically works on the last pixel times better. It can work with a brush, which is basically, I would try these 3 techniques. Okay, magic wand. However, in the next video, we are going to see how to create some custom brushes in order to mask your layers properly with different shapes.
Okay. Different way to cut out a photo. Exercise.
Photoshop. And then it will open with the camera raw, because this is the raw file. File will get TIFF, so you don't get this. When I convert this on PSD file, better to cut out a photo inside the smart object. Cut out work with by double click on it. So Control V is not. They are the same. Do the layer. Okay, and inclusion for 8-bit. It's going to be alright, and that's it. Looks great. Maybe I will take this one because.
Tức là ông ấy đẩy trời về trắng, xong ông ấy mask lại. Hay thế.
And just because I want to get, but at least.
Ok. Hình như có phải bài tập, có lẽ mình nên làm. ba chấm 3.7.1.3. Cái này là cái gì đây? Đẹp giá vậy. Nhìn chán luôn. Ôi sao nó lấy được ánh sáng hay đấy nhở? Oh man. Nhìn này. Làm sao mà có thể? Ok, 1.6.2. 1.6.2 là cái gì? 6.2.
And we can do the one this now the content is completely
Master channel. Group master channel, ok. Tức là file 1.6.2 đấy là ông ấy dùng để nói về cái mask thôi. Nhưng mà có cả file để mà học luôn này. Wow. Cũng ghê đấy. Chết. Phát trưởng luôn. Wow. Từ ông render như thế này. Took action on to twist. Đây là file 1.6 này. 3.2. 3.2 là cái access mây trời thôi. Big tree. Ok, thật ra này chắc mình dùng cái này. Sky replacement. Bấm ok phát luôn. Chắc là sẽ hay hơn của ông ấy. À không, Sky replacement, shift add lên. Thế này dùng được rồi mà, đúng không? Cái đoạn giữa vẫn hơi trắng. Ok. Thử lại phần nữa. Sky replacement. Này vẫn hơi mờ mờ nhé. Shift S lên thì nó bị mất. Khác gì không ta? Faded S không fade. Vẫn same vậy, không khác gì lắm. Ok, chắc thế này thôi cũng được. Hoặc là mình sẽ dùng channel ấy. Khoan, đây chứ. Hết vào đây. Được chưa? Ở đây à? Cầm level. Với ông ấy dùng cớp nhé. Invert lại. Cái này cũng khá ngon. Xong làm cái gì nữa? Apply layer mask này. Rồi Martin difference. Hay nhá. Giờ mình mới biết cái này. Ok, khá là hay. Đây là cái cây. Blend. Xinh xắn quá nhỉ. Cây cối. Đây là cây cối rồi. Dirt. last match. Đây à, có file cho mình. Ok, tức là 3.2 là có file. 3.2 có file. 3.4 đi. 3.4 là cái vớ vẩn. Yeah. It dog shit. 3.7.4. Chưa xem video này thì phải. Tiếp tục đi. 3.7.4 đây rồi.
For images or photos or any way shape, there's a kind of a garden, a park, and I'm going to take some real piece of grass.
And to articles, we can clean them up later on. A few rules if you want white background. Kind of a need to hard and we'll put
Ôi, có máy photo luôn ạ.
or a black and white doesn't matter, and normally it works. You can go for the black and white and make everything darker to, you know, I have more, you are third or I would say control. Anyway, we can't have Photoshop and you a very of some make this because press which one needs to be choose on the bigger black shape and the okay, this is not with the brush over and over. So you brush like in a flip it to work. The map more point as you can see you're on a still can it's just sorry.
Hơi cầu kỳ đấy.
Brush tip as you can see can press there it is press up and down is pretty low. Now let's go back to here we go. And then I click on Shape Dynamics. Now, Shape Dynamics panel will change randomly the scale of. You can choose control this. We have 100 pixel will be 200 which is they are going to be okay. So we are going from 250 to 500 in this case, and then we have the angle. Looking down, and this is not something we want in this case, so the angle jitter could be very minimal to 100%. Some of them will be very like squashed and will be where it's like squeezed down, and this is not something I want, so I don't want it too much. Okay, as a limit. Then we have the flip X jitter and the flip X jitter randomization as cool, because them will be basically I see flip it on the vertical axis, which is exactly what I want. Next, I'm missing cut. Okay, so around the line. See, but you know, a little bit. It's good because allow you to generate something kind of, you know, we paint 6 event 2 to numbness. I'll be opaque because of the randomness here. I have a better print, and that's pretty cool. So how to save. This is different from the previous create brush shape. When you you know, the group mask painting, oops, sorry, white. Yeah, and if you have some colors, in the moment you change the tool and you put a brush, it could change. And also if you select the mask, they could change here. So now I'm painting, see, and it's working. So the idea is to create different brushes depending on with the same size. So you can open one of them, and, create your own brush and try to paint with your own brush these foreground grass mask.
Ok, cái này hay nha. Nào để xem nào. Rồi cho mẫu luôn này, ngon quá này. Ok, so brush preset. And so là brush cỏ, brush cỏ, brush cỏ 01. Ok. Bit glass reflection, glass reflection mesh. Ok. Học nào trên máy. Ok. So matte painting. File 3 gạch 2, 3 gạch 2, rồi là 3 gạch 2. You know what? Về 16 bit đi em. Ok. Ok. Mình quăng thẳng vào được không ta? Được này. 16 bit chứ.
See that important thing is with and I'm going to pay for.
Làm theo rồi. Đây là đống vân vân. Đây là main. Có một cái bên dưới. Mặt trời nữa. Sky. Sky chắc phải tìm trời khác. 2. Hoặc là trống rỗng nhảy luôn. Trống rỗng không hay lắm. Ồ, hay này. Be careful, be careful. Mình lại thích cái này nhỉ. Ok. Evening sky. Oh shit. Cái này để thế. Tôi không dùng được trong cảnh này. Có thể lên này chăng? Mình thấy thì không hấp dẫn mấy. Cái này khá hay này. Cái này thì êm đềm quá. Cái này cũng được. Cái này cũng hợp. Nhiều á. Evening sky what? Ý kêu. Dễ thừa. Mình hay dùng cái trời này lắm nha. It's very good. Đéo cút tí nào. Bay đen đen. Cứ để đây đã. Cái này thì tối quá. Tối quá luôn. Tạm để cái này đi nhỉ. Main class. Đây gọi là edit. Edit thì ở trong đây. Edit. Nhưng mà cái này nằm trên edit. Cái này là made. Ok. Chết. Đơ. Đơ phần mềm. Oh shit. Here we go again. Ai nặng đấy cô. Cái gì?
I can say that I don't like this area here. Moving on something for this point.
Xong là lấy ảnh có con chó. Lấy ảnh có con chó. Kiếm đâu ra cái ảnh con chó nhỉ? Làm đều có. Chết rồi. Thằng hacker rồi. Nó không cho ảnh con chó vào đây. Không sao. Cho hay không thì ta cũng dùng vậy. Cái này không được. Có ảnh con chó cơ. Cái này đi. Cũng cùng mút mà. Gì đây ba?
Even if this one has the, and we should match for sure. Này.
Shape dynamic. Cái này là cái gì? Cái nhỏ cái to, ok. Cái nhỏ cái to thì một tí thôi nhé. Cái này cái gì đây? Chả biết cái này tác dụng cho gì. Ok. Cái này thì chỉ một tí thôi. Đây, cái này tạo nhỏ giống nhau. Có. Ok. Scattering à? Một tới ba. Spacing đi. Cũng được đấy. Cái chưa là xem lại bạn này đã. Đây là ấy rồi.
Sorry. So change.
Ok.
A little bit some we need enough canned.
có thể xoay được nhiều nữa đấy, không sợ đâu. Nó còn cái gì nữa cơ? Còn đống rau ở đằng này nữa này. Không, mấy đống này là phải là grass. Kéo này xuống đây. Rồi cái đống này là rau. Rau không có nhớ. Tí nhạc nhẽo lên. Đây rồi. Cái này phải nằm bên trên chứ, đúng không? Tiếng to thế. À không, cái này mình nhét xuống dưới. Xong cái layer main này mình mask cắt cái này đi là được. Cái này vô dụng mà. Ok. shit. Rất rất kinh. Nếu bây giờ mà mình blend màu cái này thì sao? Chả sao cả. Ok. Việt Nam thắng rồi cả. Cái này nguyên liệu đây đã, theo hiệu chỉnh sau. Ngưỡng này là nó bắt đầu ấy rồi. Ngưỡng này mình bắt đầu mask tiếp. Mask tiếp là mask nốt. Đây phải là background. Con này to lắm. Thế ra cũng được. Ok. Trông cũng như cái bíp. Hay thì chắc là hiền quá. Flat. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. 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 Có vẻ hấp dẫn hơn. Cái này cái đã. Ok.
Images.
Nhét cây vào. 3.4 hả? 3. Vẫn là 3.2 à? Asset đâu ta? Chết. Không phải cái này. Mất à? Không, cái này luôn. Nãy thấy cái cây đâu mà nhỉ? À đây. Nào, ok. Plans. Ok. Đây qua đã. Dùng cách của ông anh nhá. Ok. Nhớ không anh ra? Cũng cũng ok đấy. Ok. Thật ra mình thiếu gì cây đâu. Oh shit. Yep. Additional tip.
Now we can finalize the background and the foreground. So what we are missing actually is to work on this area, and then to play a little bit with the, I would say, fog for the forest here far away. And I mean, one thing at a time. I've seen that we have a photo here that we tested at the beginning for the field. Now maybe we don't need this because I understand that we still have the same kind of environment in the background photo, so maybe we can do the same work, the same job with. So let's see if we can get something under the render. If we have enough photo here to work, the render itself, you see, is this kind of gray floor we left in the render is probably a mistake. So how can we fix it? We can just check in the masks here if we have back in the section to set we have this here. We also otherwise, it could be a mess because the size of the mask is different than the entire canvas. Again, a great idea. Entire click and then highway. Weird. I will invert this mask. If I hide the masks, you will see. Now, weird. It's working. My mistakes from these videos, it's a plus. It's something right to the beauty pass on the fringe of the image. So if you have any of this problem, remember, make a copy, hide the original one, apply the mask, and then it should be all right. And if you still have some problems, you remember you can go here, layer, matting the fringe, okay? Or layer, yeah, always better to do it in. So basically, if you want to hide part of the render, it's always better to do it in 32-bit. It's way more too high, so I'm going to press shift and bring it, follow, the continues. This is a lot better.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. That's it.
Than the original position. And then when you find the horizon, the right height, you can also move the photo on a crop that other direct doesn't problem the multi-layer. And if you zoom in the sky I would say, and then you can paint a little bit like this, going down with the opacity, and then if you zoom in, you need the lasso, not the polygonal lasso but the lasso tool, and it's better if you use the pen because you are way more precise. Like this one, and we can blur a little bit so we don't get those this, or you can select the mask and go to filter. It's too strong, but we don't care because we can just go down with the opacity. See
Oh,
it gets more, the image gets more depth, and you can do this many times. Of course, don't exaggerate with the opacity in both ways. But a little bit, it's great to feel like that area is kind of far away. The area will look. The foreground here, mask of the curve.
Ừ.
Maybe on loop.
Cái gì đấy? Ông ấy nói gì?
Darkness only on the corners. Maybe only on the right corner. Remember the video about the image plan, about the loop?
Loop.
Maybe this area can be a little bit darker so your eyes will not go there. Okay, so I mean, this is something we can do anyway in a second moment when we play with the adjustments on the entire image. But it's about the foreground and background, so it's worth to make it now. I mean, anyway, remember that you need to work on the saturation of these areas sooner or later. Some of them are too colorful probably, but the right thing is to go outside and take your own pictures today, because these photos are probably taken in a different hour than the render, and so maybe we need to have a little bit of red, a little bit of orange on this vegetation here. And I mean, we can do this in another moment, but at least now we have complete scene, okay, background, foreground. So maybe we can add some bushes here, like a bush here. We have a base to work on, and I feel better when I have something like this, because there's nothing that kind of distract me. Now the thing that distract me more than anything else is the swimming pool, but it's because it's empty, there's no water. So in the next video we are going to add some glasses, some windows glasses, and some water to complete the scene, so we can then do the rest of the post-production with like adjustments and details and color correction, color grading. We can add some smoke, we can add some fog, and some finalization.
Okay. File này dạng làm đến đây thôi. Ok thôi, mai học tiếp. Mình sẽ phải xong sớm cái khóa này để học sang khóa khác nữa. Riêng cái này thôi là cũng 3 chấm này, 4 chấm digital painting luôn, 5 chấm là matte painting. Và khối lượng cũng khá nhiều, mong là chắc là giờ chắc phải mỗi hôm để học thôi. Mỗi hôm cùng học thôi. Mai học tiếp vậy. Mỗi hôm học tiếng hơn thôi, không phải học nhiều. Còn nhiều khóa nữa. Giờ à? Giờ làm gì bây giờ? Hơi mỏi lưng. I would say thử xem nào. Kết thúc hôm nay bằng một cái shadowing đi. Shadowing English có follow channel. Đâu nhỉ? Đây hả? Spotlight English. Advanced English Listening. Advanced à, thôi. Học Advanced chết. Cái gì đây? Job Interview Skill. Business.
Spotlight. Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Bruce Gulland.
Bruce Garland.
And I'm Christy Veneragon.
And
Spotlight uses a special English method of broadcasting. It is easier for people to understand no matter where in the world they live.
Imagine you are looking for a job. You worked hard applying for jobs, and now you have a job interview. You celebrate, but you do not yet have a job offer. First, you must perform well in the interview meeting. You must perform better than the other job candidates. What can you do to improve your chances of getting a job offer?
Cái này chậm quá nhỉ? Tốc độ đây. Chắc phải 1.25.
To get any job,
A job.
Imagine.
But you have a job, you worked hard. Imagine you
Imagine you are looking for a job. You work hard, apply for jobs, and now you have a job interview. You celebrate, but you do not yet have a job offer. First, you must perform well in the interview meeting. You must perform better than the job candidates. What can you do to improve your chance to getting a job offer?
are looking and now, but you do not yet have the job chances
any job.
getting a job offer.
To get any job, you have to perform well at a job interview. At an interview meeting, the employer will ask the job candidate many
Candidates.
questions.
Languages.
Some people say that a job interview is like selling something. In a job interview, the job candidate is selling himself. He is selling the idea that he can do this job better than anyone else. He wants the employer to believe this too. This makes many people worry. Today's spotlight is on job interview skills.
To get any job, you have to perform well at the job interview. At an interview meeting, the employer will ask the job candidates many questions. Some people say that a job interview is like selling something. In a job interview, the job candidate is selling himself. He is selling the idea that he can do this job better than anyone else. He wants the employer to believe this too. This makes many people worry. Today's spotlight is on job interview skills.
Many organizations around the world make suggestions about what to do before an interview. They all agree that you must prepare well for your job interview. The Connecticut Department of Labor is a government agency in the United States. It helps people to get jobs. On its website, it advises
Many organi- organization many organizations around the world make suggestions about what to do before an interview. Và tiếng Anh Mỹ nó đọc là interview. They all agree that you must prepare well for job interview. The Connecticut Department of Labor is a government agency in the United States. It helps people to get jobs. On its website, it advises
Prepare early. If you are better prepared, you will worry less, and your chances of success will be greater.
prepare early. If you are better than prepared, you will worry less, and your chance of success will be greater.
There are some common questions that employers often ask in interviews.
There are some common questions that employers often ask in interviews.
You can prepare answers for these questions before your interview.
You can prepare answers for these questions before your interview.
Do some research about the company.
Do some research about the company.
Find out about its size, products, and profits.
Find out about its size, products, and profits.
Learn about the industry.
Learn about the industries.
You can then show your knowledge and understanding of the company in your answers.
You can then show your knowledge in and understanding of the company in your answers.
When you have prepared your answers,
When you have cái gì đó?
in your answers. When you have prepared your answer,
Prepared your có cái chữ the answer. When you have prepared your answers,
practice them.
practice them. Practice them. Practice them.
Ask a friend or family member to ask you questions.
Ask a friend or family member to ask you questions.
Then you can say your answers again and again.
Then you can say your answers again and again.
Then you will remember the information well.
Then you will remember the information well.
Let's look at some of the most common questions.
Let's look at some of the most common questions.
Tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
An employer will often start an interview with a question like this. But employers do not want to hear your whole life history. Talk about the part.
An employer will often start an interview with a question like this, but employers do not want to hear your whole life history.
Parts of your life that prepare you for this particular job.
Talk about the parts of your life that prepare you for this particular job.
You should talk about what you studied at college or university.
You should talk about what you studied at the college or university,
Your past jobs, and your interest in the area of work.
your past job, the past jobs, and your interest in the area of work.
Remember to explain why your past experience has led you to want this particular job.
Remember to explain why your past experience has led you to. Remember to explain why your past experience has led you to want this particular job.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Give 3 examples of your strong qualities or skills.
Give 3 examples of your strong qualities and or skills. Choose qualities that are important for the particular job. Then give some real examples of when you have used them.
Choose qualities that are important for the particular job. Then give some real examples of when you have used them.
Many people find it difficult to answer the question about their areas of weakness.
Many people find it difficult. Many people find it difficult to answer the question about their areas of weakness.
But you must not say that you have no weaknesses.
But you must not say that you have no weakness.
The National Careers Service in the UK advises
The National Careers Survey in the UK advise
Do not list many weaknesses if you are asked about them.
do not list many weaknesses if you are asked about them.
Only state one.
Only state one. State là cái gì?
Choose a minor failing that is not necessary to the job.
Choose a minor failing. Choose a minor failing that is not necessary to the job. Từ từ mình phải search cái từ này, mình có một vài từ mới. State one. Only state one. Tức là chỉ một cái thôi. Minor failing. Minor failing. Thất bại nhỏ. Is not necessary to the job.
Turn it into a positive, such as how you have worked on the weakness.
Turn it into the positive, such as how you have worked on the weakness, or you could present it as a chance for development.
Or you could present it as a chance for development.
Why should we employ you? Why do you want to work here?
Why should we employ you? Why do you want to work here?
The employer wants to know that you understand what the job is about.
The employer wants to know that you understand what the job is about.
Your answer should show how and why you would be perfect for the job.
Your answers should show how and why you would be perfect for the job.
Again, remember that you are selling yourself.
Again, remember that you are selling yourself.
Explain what you can do for the company.
Explain what you can do for the company. Your research about the company will help you create a good answer. You will be able to explain how your goals relate to the company wants.
Your research about the company will help you create a good answer.
Create a good answer.
You will be able to explain how your goals relate to what the company wants.
Relate to what the company wants.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
the
You see yourself in 5 years' time.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? The employer wants to see that you have considered your future.
The employer wants to see that you have considered your
Considered.
future.
You should show your excitement. You should show your excitement about the job and the industry.
You should show your excitement about the job and the industry.
You should also explain how you can plan to progress.
You should also explain how you plan to progress.
Plan to progress. Did we show the employer that you will did we show the employer that you will try hard to move forward?
This will show the employer that you will try hard to move forward.
Try hard to move forward. Do you have any questions?
Do you have any questions?
You must
You must always have one or two questions to ask. This shows your real interest in the job. Prepare a few questions about the job or company so that you are ready.
always have one or two questions to ask. This shows your real interest in the job. Prepare a few questions about the job or company so that you are ready.
So that you are ready. Employers will also ask the other questions. They often ask you to give real examples of how you behave in a particular situation. For example, how you deal with conflicts, or how you provide leadership. Cái này hay nha. Provide leadership. Conflict. How you deal with conflict, or how you provide leadership. Bob Lodich wrote about his experience. His experience of job interviews. He found it difficult to think of example during the interview, but he solved his problem.
Employers will also ask other questions. They often ask you to give real examples of how you behaved in particular situations. For example, how you dealt with conflict, or how you provided leadership.
How you provided leadership.
Bob Lottick wrote about his experience. Leadership. Bob Lottick wrote about his experience of job interviews. He found it difficult to think of examples during the interview, but he solved this problem.
Next time I had an interview,
Next time I had an interview, I decided to spend a few hours thinking about stories of achievements, conflict resolution, and other answers to interview questions. 3 of the most common ones that saw in my job interview here were how I help solve a problem at work, a time when I make a mistake, and how you fix it. How I deal with an unpleasant worker.
decided to spend a few hours thinking about stories of achievement, conflict resolution, and other answers to interview questions. 3 of the most common ones that I saw in my job interviews were
3 of the most common ones that I saw in my job interviews were
How I helped solve a problem at work.
How I helped solve a problem at work.
A time when I made a mistake and how I fixed it.
A time when I make a mistake and how I fixed it.
How I dealt with an unpleasant worker.
How I dealt with an unpleasant worker. Unpleasant worker là cái gì? Unpleasant worker, thành phần bất hảo. Công nhân khó chịu. Ok, deal.
I would go
into the interview with the examples from my past. The questions were often a little different, but most of the time, I could find a way to use that story in an answer to their questions. I did not have the pressure or difficulty of trying to think about it quickly.
go into the interview with examples from my past. The questions were often a little different, but most of the time, I could find a way to use that story in an answer to their questions. I did not have the pressure
I did not have the pressure
or difficulty
of trying to
of
think
trying
about
to think about it quickly.
it quickly.
Like Lotic, you can prepare
Like Lotage, you can prepare stories of your experience to share. Work on this story in the same way that you work on your answer to the other questions. Then you will feel prepared for your job interview.
stories of your experience
Experience
to share.
to share.
Work on these stories in the same way that
Work on the story
you work on your answers to the other questions.
to the other questions.
Then you will feel prepared for your job interview.
Then you will feel prepared for your job interview.
When you walk into the interview,
When you walk into the interview,
greet the interviewers.
greet the interviewers.
In the UK and USA, you will be expected to shake the employer's hand.
In the UK or USA, you will be expected to shake the employer's hand.
And during the interview, you will be expected to look the employer in the eye.
And during the interview, you will be expected to look the employer in the eyes. Có S rồi nhỉ?
The employer will consider this behavior as a sign of honesty and respect for what is being said.
The employer will consider this behavior as a sign of honesty and respect for what is being said.
People in other countries and cultures may expect different behavior.
People in other countries and cultures may expect different behavior.
For example, in many Latin American and Asian countries,
For example, in many Latin American and Asian countries, the employer will consider it disrespectful to look him in the eyes.
the employer will consider it disrespectful to look him in the eye. You must make sure that you understand the culture of the employer.
You must make sure that you understand the culture of the employer.
Stay calm during the interview.
Stay calm during the interview.
Do not worry if you do not understand a question.
Do not worry if you do not understand a question.
Do not be afraid to ask the employer if he could explain the question further.
Do not be afraid to ask the employer if he could explain the question further.
Be positive and be confident.
Be positive and be confident.
The interview will soon be over.
The interview will soon be over.
Then you can rest.
Then you can rest.
If you are offered the job, you can celebrate.
If you are offered the cái gì? Đọc từ từ.
You can rest. If you are offered the job,
Offered the job. Nó đọc. If you offer the job, you can celebrate.
you can celebrate. But what if you are not offered the job?
But what if you are not offered a job? Offered a job. Offered a job.
You may ask the employer to comment on your interview performance.
You may ask the employer to comment on your interview performance.
You should think about your interview experience.
You should think about your interview experience. Experience.
This will performance. You should think about your interview experience.
Experience. You should think about your interview experience.
This will help you improve for the next time.
This will help you improve for the next time.
The writer of this program was Katie Blake.
The writer is this program was Katie Blake.
The producer was Bruce Gulland.
The producer was Bruce Gulland. The voice you heard were from the United Kingdom.
The voices you heard were from the United Kingdom.
The voice you heard were from United Kingdom and the United States.
And the United States. All quotes were adapted for this program.
All quotes were adapted for this program and voiced by Spotlight.
And voiced by Spotlight. You can listen to this program again.
You can listen to this program again. You can listen to this program again and read it on the internet. Blah, 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 blah.
And radio interview skills.
Ok. Quá mệt rồi. Mình nghĩ mình sẽ đi đánh răng và lên giường. 11 giờ học tận gần 2 tiếng luôn. Mình sẽ cày cái kênh này vào mỗi một buổi cuối. Mỗi cuối một buổi học. Program and extra. Và mình sẽ nghe lại được tiếng của mình, chắc là sẽ buồn cười lắm, nhưng mà who's care? Say it. Đánh răng thôi. 3 người xem này, không biết ai luôn. Chắc là một là mình, hai là hai người ai nữa. Ai vậy khai mau.